This is how I beat Moonlord in 70 minutes on expert mode using a set seed. This is by far my biggest speedrunner achievement to this date. It is a 4-month long project. I spent over 200 hours running it, and I'm not counting how many hours I spent figuring out the route, making new strategies, and practicing all the splits. So this seed was found by a mod that was made by It is a seed searcher. It allows you to set some parameters and then it checks for worlds that fit the parameters. This seed is not the best, but it is pretty good. I liked it for the early chests and all the loot, and also for the good accessories that it has. It has a sky island near spawn that I'm gonna visit right now to pick up wings and a red balloon. These two accessories make the early game, much easier because you have they give you a lot of mobility to avoid enemies. I said that this seed isn't perfect. It's missing conch, it is missing few potions like Thorns potion, Battle potion early, and some Featherfall potions would be great as well. But altogether, this seed is really decent. It has close crimson, as you can see. This will be important for altars because we will access them faster this way. Also, it is a close jungle, meaning that jungle is before desert. This is really important for Plantera because Plantera's build spawns. The spawn is kinda complex to explain, but close jungle makes the spawning area smaller, so it's easier to find it. Right now I'm going to build houses. I will build 4 houses. I don't really need 4 houses, it's for consistency, because I already have 2 houses at the Sky Island. I will build 2 more houses at Shimmer, so this makes total 8 houses, which is a lot. I need only like 6, but the more walls I put, the faster NPCs will move. You can see it on this graph, the correlation between amount of walls and the time it takes for NPCs to move. So I make 4 houses so NPCs move faster. All I need is merchant, demo and nurse on day 1. Then later in hard mode I will need only steampunker. Merchant already came, that's nice. Next I'm moving to jungle. You can see it's really close jungle. Jungle can be scary, but I have a lot of mobility with wings and the balloon, so I should be able to avoid all the enemies there. On the way I'm trying to break bots because they drop bombs or torches, which are useful. If you go deeper, they start dropping important potions like Thorn potion, and in hell the bots drop also Battle potion, potion of return, so I'm looking for those if I'm lucky. Here I'm collecting hearts using coins. I'm dropping coins from above on hearts to collect them, to break them instantly. Here I craft few items that I will need later. and also collect these chests, which have important accessories. Hermes boots, which give you the movement speed, and feral claws. They will be useful later on other bosses when we switch to melee class. Here I'm changing my settings. I had it set up that I was drinking potions immediately as they got to my inventory, but I don't want it anymore because I'm picking up potions like water walking and hunter potions, which I want to keep, not drink them. I'm keeping them because I will shimmer them to get shark fins, which I can later use to craft mega shark, I mean, which will be my main weapon for mechs and Plantera. These rails are for ball of flash. That's a nice finish that you will see in a few minutes. Next, I'm building a hell bridge. Hell bridge is for ball of flash. This way we can throw dynamite, and we are using solid blocks, not platforms, so dynamite doesn't go through. Also, I'm keeping an eye on enemies, because enemies in hell can be big time loss. They have a lot of health, and you don't have at the moment good weapons to kill them, so I will try to block the enemies with doors, like this bat. I will try to lure him and then close doors behind me. This other bat will be a bit problematic, but I will just run. Here I'm breaking more pots. I didn't get like obsidian skin or something like that, but I already have Thorns potion, which is big high roll. That's like 1 minute time save. You will see it on the first two bosses that I will fight, the Skeleton and Eye of Cthulhu. I said fight, but I will cheat them. This structure is a nerve house. I will be using nerves during mechs and Moonlord. I'm building it over spawn, so I don't need a bat, and when I recall, I will be immediately above nerves, so I can just click on her and heal really quickly. I'm selling few items that are unnecessary, and I'm buying around 200 grenades and 20 dynamite. I don't buy more dynamite because I want to keep some money for the cheese that I will do for the Skeleton and Eye of Cthulhu. Next, I'm building insta-kill setup for Destroyer. I placed the platform and then went 74 rope up. This is the perfect distance for insta-kill. Then I'm making this rail structure. This is for one movement trick that we call chicken teriyaki in our speedrunner community. This trick is best movement option for traveling. It will be riding on a minecart, but using a featherfall potion, so we are basically flying at speed 60 miles per hour, and later with better minecart 100 miles per hour. So it is really fast way of travel. Handy in speedruns. Next I'm moving to dungeon, because that's where I will be fighting Skeletron. On the way there I will collect some obsidian. I have lava bucket, so I will make my own lava pool and make obsidian from it. Here I make a 20 blocks long lava pool and drop water there. Also I collect some wood, because I will need a lot of wood this run. I will be making some NPC houses and using a lot of platforms. So around 300 wood is necessary. Also, ideally I would get slime here, because I want the gel for sticky dynamite. It's easier to use sticky dynamite during some parts of the run, but unfortunately it is raining, so slimes are kinda rare. Other enemies are spawning. Here I got a golden portal, but I don't really need it. I have enough money this run, so it's just unnecessary to pick up. It's a time loss to wait for the gold. Here I'm making a house for nurse and placing rails. This will be the cheese that we will use for Skeletron and Eye of the Wolf. I'm holding a melee weapon, the tungsten hammer, and also I have sharpening station buff. What this does is lower enemy defense. It's only like 4 or 6 damage upgrade, but it's for free basically, so why not do it? Also I craft some arrows that I will need later in the run. And also later I will mine a dungeon blink that I will use for the destroyer insta-kill method. Not much to talk about during this fight. I have Thorns potion on, which significantly makes this fight faster. Like the Thorns potion says a minute. It's crazy how OP it is during this cheese. Sadly I have to rely on it from pots, because this is a closed jungle seed, so I don't have cactus near me, so I can't craft the Thorns potion. Here I'm making a mistake. This is a setup for Cultist, but I hammered wrong blocks and I got confused a bit. Here I pick up Dash, Shield of Tulhu, which is, in my opinion, one of the best mobility items in the game. It helps with bosses a lot and allows for sick dodges and just funny movement. Also pick up a Cobalt Shield, which is another great accessory for boss fights. Immunity to knockback helps a lot. Next I will farm 30 bones in this pit. The ground is the perfect distance for me, so enemies spawn right below me and I can just throw dynamite or grenades down. Here I got Mechanic there, but I don't really need her in this round, so I will just keep her and do not talk to her. I pick up these chests and the items, and I will just sell them. I don't need them right now, but I will take the money. I use the money to buy pylon and also buy mana potions. Even though I'm not gonna use magic weapons, I will use Stardust Dragon, and that consumes mana, so I will have to use mana potions, because I won't have more than 20 mana. I need only like 200 dynamite this round, so I don't need to buy more. Here I place the dungeon brick. Dungeon brick is explosive immune, so that's why we use it for the destroyer insta-kill setup, because we will be insta-killing destroyer with dynamite. Next I farm vertebrae. This is important for the destroyer summon, and I need 6 vertebrae. This setup is unusual. Usually speedrunners build a lava setup or just no setup and farm the Vert in Crimson, but usually they do it during night, and I was reaching Crimson during day, which has significantly lower spawn rate, so I rather build it now while it's night, and also with water candle. Next is Wall of Flesh. I built this house where I will move guide and pour lava on him. This has the same effect as throwing voodoo doll into lava, so it will summon Wall of Flesh. Here I pick up lava again because I will need it later. Wall of Flesh fight is somewhat easy. I've done it hundreds of times, so I just remember where to point my cursor when I'm looking at the health of the Wall of Flesh. And if I miss some dynamite, I have this setup with minecart that will finish the Wall of Flesh really easily. I will pick up a good weapon here, Dark Lance. This is, in my opinion, the best weapon for early hard mode, especially in Hell, because as you will fight, as you will farm Souls of Night and Light, you will eventually encounter some mobs that go through walls, and Darklands can really easily deal with them. Next I pick up a few chests and Hellstone. Hellstone is necessary to make Molten pickaxe, which can mine hard mode ores. You need only 20 Hellstone. I mean Hellstone bars, 60 Hellstone ore to make the pickaxe. Next we will farm Souls of Nights. Usually the Crimson is here, but this run I got lucky and it was further. Why it is lucky? It's because this spot that I'm traveling to has better spawns, enemies don't get stuck as much, and also I can reach Cavern layer, not Hell. The reason why that's important is that Hell spawn rate is a bit lower than Cavern spawn rate. So you can see Cavern on the background, the transition when the background is no longer transparent like Hell. I mean, transparent. You can see the difference there. This is a lava setup for Souls the way it works is that there are 5 hammered blocks and then the middle pillar. The middle pillar, enemies will slowly approach the middle pillar and then go down, and they will get stuck in the gap between the hammered blocks and the pillar, so they will be in the lava and they will die. This only works for crimson enemies, doesn't work on corruption, and that's why we also speedrun on crimson, because the enemies are so much easier to kill and farm souls with it. I'm boosting my spawn rate with battle potion and water candle, and also boosting my luck with the crimson torches. Also, I have background walls behind me, so some enemies can't spawn. Mainly the enemies that travel through walls. This includes floaty grows or crimson axes, which are really annoying enemies, so if I can prevent them from spawning, I definitely will. I need 9 souls of night and I already have 8, but my inventory is still messy, so I have to organize it, and while I'm doing this I have the time. I can see the last soul there, so I'm just waiting for the sticker to burn in lava. Next I will return to spawn using bedwar. This is a strategy to keep your spawn, in this example in hell, but teleport to spawn. But the next teleport will be back to hell. It is done by temporarily invalidating your spawn, recalling, and then making it valid again. And this exact setup is recent. I discovered it like only a few months ago. Next I'm destroying altars, which will spawn hard ores. I usually stay in this crimson longer, because on the left there is hollow, but this eager sticker messed up my movement and the Verts almost killed me, so I had to recall. This has some consequences, mainly that I didn't get any crystal shards, and I need crystal shards for crystal bullets for Mega Shark. Sadly, this is a time loss, because I have to slowly gather crystals here. And also I didn't get any palladium, so I have to keep that in mind and mine it later. Usually I can mine it in that crimson. Here you can see the power of the lens. It's really easy to use and it can take down expert enemies really quickly. I'm collecting some crystals. Unfortunately I don't see any palladium, only orichalcum, and I can't mine that yet. Usually I take only like 12 crystals, which is enough for the run, and I think I will end up with 12. Next I will farm Souls of Light, and that will be the same setup as for Nights. I'm making the arena again from crimson blocks, because we want to spawn crimson enemies. Crimson enemies don't have to be in Crimson, they only need Crimson blocks to spawn. So that's why we can farm Souls of Light with Crimson enemies. Here I unfortunately forget to hammer the 5 blocks, and I won't see this mistake for a long time, so my lava setup, lava farm for the enemies won't work as efficiently. So that's another time loss. Here I'm again going high enough for the transition to reach the cavern layer. You can also tell that you are in cavern layer by the change of music, from hell music to hollow music. Also I'm making a room here to set a spawn and placing walls again, because I want to prevent the enchanted swords for spawning and also the floaty growth. Cleaning inventory again and making some items. Here I can see that the soul farm doesn't work, but I didn't spot the mistake and I just assume that it's too short, but sadly I forgot to hammer the blocks and I won't see it. Yeah, this doesn't do anything. Here I travel to pick up few chests. Those have Hunter Potion, which is again for the shark fins from Shimmer, and also chest with Potion of Return and Life Force Potion, but unfortunately I have messy inventory, so I forget to pick up the Life Force Potion. I just didn't see it. Here is Palladium that I will need. I need 54 Palladium, and luckily I have all of it here on the left as well, which is a bit far for my taste. It takes some time to get there, so that's another time loss. I'm trying to combine also dynamite, but it doesn't seem really faster to get there than mining. I have already 6 souls of light. I need only 3 more, which should be quick. But again, I don't have the setup working properly. I will make Palladium drill, because drills are faster than pickaxes if you don't have any buffs. And I have mining potion, but that is not enough to justify pickaxe over drill. Here I finally spot the mistake and can hammer the blocks. Yeah, this is all that was missing. cleaning the inventory again, getting rid of items that I don't need. While the enemies are burning in the lava, I mine the orichalcum. Also, you can see that I'm not mining it, but block swapping it for platforms. This is because drills don't get any buffs from mining speed, but if you are block swapping, they actually do get the mining bonus. Also here I make a horrible decision to just go down and pick up the souls, which wasn't really smart, because there was a mimic and I got blocked by it, and they comboed me. I think I lose some gold here. Yes, I definitely do. I had 80 gold and I have only 40 now. But what can you do? Here I drink Featherfall, and this is chicken teriyaki, the best movement strategy for traveling that we use in speedruns. The way it works in expert is that you can use dash to get instant minecart momentum. It works that you dash and then you equip minecart, which somehow dashes with minecart, which gives you instant momentum. I'm traveling all the way here to Shimmer, because Shimmer gives you access to the ability to decraft items, and you can see my bottom row in my inventory where I prepared items to Shimmer. I will Shimmer the Hunter and Water Walking Potion to get the Shark Fins for Mega Shark. Then Eye of Cthulhu Summon, which will give me lands, and lands are used to craft Twin Summon. Also, I can't forget about orichalcum. I'm still missing some. I need 48, but this vein gives me all that I need. Then I also will Shimmer recall potions, because they will give me a fish which I can make seafood dinner with, and seafood dinner is a really strong food buff. I mean strong, it's tier 2, which is really decent. Here is the Shimmer setup, which is at the same time also NPC houses, because I will move demo and merchant. Also, I'm shimmering my emblem to get ranger, because I will be using ranger for mechs. Here I will finish the houses. And then I will also pick up the life crystals on the right. But before that I will craft some items. I forgot my anvil somewhere, so I have to craft one and decraft one. Also making a pot. to make the seafood dinner. Because I don't have any spare iron, I will have to immediately decraft the pot and use it to craft mech summons. Also, I decrafted my palladium drill because I don't need it, and I will take the helmet from it. Here I relog to despawn all the enemies, and so I can pick up the life crystals easily. It's already night, so NPCs moved in. I set the pylon here, so I can return home. Because it's night, I can already do Destroyer. Here is the setup that I made, and I will throw 6 dynamite. Below me, where is the dungeon brick. Destroyer will spawn on the dungeon brick, and all the dynamite will hit him, which instantly kills the Destroyer, hence the name insta-kill. Here I buy items for Mega Shark and return to Shimmer. I will try to get good reforge for Mega Shark. I'm looking for something that gives me speed bonus, because those are the strongest reforges for Mega Shark, but because I'm running out of time, I will take any good reforge. Superior gives me just damage, but that is good enough. Also, I'm crafting not hallowed helmet, but hollow boots, which give less damage, but I don't. I already have a palladium helmet, so I don't care. I summon Prime first instead of Twins. It really doesn't matter which mech you are doing first, because I'm not crafting any items in between the fights, and Prime first looks cool. That's all the reason for it. The fighting strategy is to do circles, but it's kinda hard to fight Prime without wings and only featherfall and double jump. But I also have red balloon, which gives you a lot stronger jumps and mobility, so it's not that hard, not that insane. Also, I will recall to nurse every time I get low, so it's not that difficult. Usually I have a lot more health here, because I had to recall from the Crimson earlier because of the unlucky Ica sticker. I didn't pick up 2 life crystals, and I also forgot to pick up the life force potion. Usually I have 420 health here, not 340, so I have to recall a lot less during max. Prime is almost dead. Also, I never mentioned that I'm still using a blow dart with Ica darts. This is to apply Ica, and that boosts your damage a lot with Mega Shark. Here I get a death set, but I immediately trash it because I really don't need it and I don't want it. because I can prove that I can finish this run without getting lucky. Also, I would trash any mech summons that I would get randomly, which is really lucky drop, like 1 in 1000 or something like that. Twins are much easier than Prime. Having dash, Shield of Tuhu also helps a lot during this fight, because you can basically dance with twins. They are really predictable what they are doing. The only RNG aspect is the purple laser, which you can't really dodge because it's random by nature. But what can you do is stay above the red twin, because if you are above, the twin won't even shoot you. I don't really have time to show it in this fight, because the twin already turns phase 2, and phase 2 is cheesed by making you basically invisible to the boss. What we do is hook to the platform and then block swap. This makes your hitbox inside the block, so the red twin thinks you are behind walls, so it doesn't even try to shoot. Here I craft the upgraded minecart, so I can do chicken teriyaki more efficiently. But for chicken teriyaki you need featherfall, and I ran out of featherfall, so I have to retry again. Here we go, much better. Clean up inventory a bit more. And what we are doing now is traveling to temple, the jungle temple. The reason is that even though it is locked, we can still get there, and we want to get there to move nerfs, because we will use nerfs on Golem, but nerfs can move only during night, and we just it would be a day when we want to find Golem, so we have to do it now. So we are going to use Shimmer. This trick I found recently, only a few weeks ago, which basically allows you to get the shimmering effect, the effect that you will fall through the ground, but with Potion of Return you can do it outside of Shimmer, outside of Ether biome. So this is how we enter temple. Here I will make houses. Again, as almost all the houses in this speedrun are not requiring any walls. We speedrunners put platforms very carefully to make the house valid even without walls. Next I will pick up this chest, which has the Golem summon. And also I set up a pylon here, so I can move here later, after Plantera is dead, because right now I cannot summon Golem. Here I'm selling items that I don't need. Because I will need money later in this run. To the Shimmer again, and I'm trying to get good reforge on my lance, because lance, even though this weapon is not used in casual playthroughs, we speedrunners found a way to abuse lance, and we will be fighting few bosses with it. But now we are gonna fight Plantera legit, and for that we have to find the Plantera. which is really RNG. Fortunately, this seed has closed jungle, and closed jungle basically limits the area where Plantera can spawn, so it should be easier to find them. I say it should be easier, but I've done many attempts and like 50% of the time I just get really bad bulls. But that's mainly because this seed has really bad jungle. It's not really open in the places where insta-bulb can spawn. So I have to use dynamite, and it's not really time efficient. Here, as I am searching for the bulb, I'm already making the arena for it. Here is the arena for the phase 1. I'm just making it open, and then I'm making this elevator where I will fight Plantera for the in her second phase. Here I'm going a bit to the right because I'm trying to avoid that hive, that beehive. And I found Plantera. So I'm returning to this room because I have to finish it. I know that I can finally PB and finish a run, so I will make a bigger arena than usually, because I really don't want to hope that I will survive. I want to make sure that the fight is easy. Technically, fighting it legit with Mega Shark is not the fastest strategy. There is a setup with teleporters and lands, the hallowed lands, but it's not that much faster, and I really enjoy the Plantera fight, so I rather not use teleporters. Okay, here I'm going to summon the Plantera and teleport back to my bed. In 1.4.4 the Plantera changed, so she doesn't despawn as quickly, and you can go really far away and she doesn't despawn. Here is basically the same strategy with Mega Shark as on Max, that I'm using dart, blow gun with Iker darts to set Iker, and then I'm using Mega Shark. Phase 1 is just making circles and occasionally dodging her tentacles or the spiky balls. The spiky balls are really hard to predict. Also the tentacles can be RNG. It just when you are moving in the circle, you have a set trajectory and you can't really adjust it that well. So that's why it's really hard to dodge the other attacks. At least for me. But we enter a second phase, and this phase is somewhat easy because we will abuse Bat. We will recall every time we ran out of space, and Plantera will just come to us. Also, this has another effect, because we teleport so far away, her tentacles despawn. This is because her tentacles are enemies, and enemies despawn if they are 2 screens away. But Plantera as a boss works different, so she stays here while the tentacles despawn. It's not really necessary, but it makes the fight easier. Clean up my inventory a bit. Spore sack will be useful later. I see that Steampunker already moved in, so I will buy Logic Gate. This item allows you to... This item can be placed in mid-air. So the effect is same as having Ice Rod, which also plays a block in mid-air. This will be useful for pillars, because they will make setups in mid-air, and we don't want any... I mean, we want to manipulate where enemies spawn, so we have to make it outside of the range where other enemies would spawn. You will see it later. Here is why feral claws are important. It is because we are using lance for the next bosses. And lance, even though auto fire is option in Terraria, lance doesn't auto fire. So we have to use feral claws during these bosses, because otherwise the lance would contract every time you get hit, but with feral claws it comes back. This cheese for Golem is pretty easy. It works on every difficulty with nerfs. On classic we can actually do it without nerfs, just tank it because the fight is so short. But on higher difficulties we have to use nerfs. By the way, it also works on legendary. Next, we Teriyaki over dungeon. We have to dodge some islands, but otherwise the route is almost smooth. But I ran out of Featherfall potion, so I have to run. Also, I'm a bit slower right now because I took off my Hermes boots. But Cultist is coming next. We will damage the cultists with dynamite. We already have the setup. We just have to kill the small cultists. Again, we will use lance for this. Here I made a mistake too, so I missed the first attack. But otherwise the fight is clean. The way this works is that cultist will go like 13 or something like that blocks above you, but your lance can't hit that far, so we have to jump around to places, going up and down. Here I check where my Stardust pillar is, and I go there. To get there safely, I will use again chicken teriyaki. I unfortunately got an enemy here, but I have potions of return, so I just despawn the enemy and continue building the setup. This setup hasn't seen use in Expert Plus before this run, because I just made it for this category. It is a land setup to kill the cells with lands. This makes it that I can skip repeater, which would usually be required for as the weapon of choice for Stardust. But as you can see, Lance goes really hard. Yeah, it's pretty strong. On Master this doesn't work as well as good, because even with critical hit, the lens doesn't instantly kill the cells, and every critical hit pushes the cells really far away, so it's a bit slower, but it's still better than repeater. Also, I'm not using Spore Sec right now because it doesn't work well with iframes of the minecart, so you can see that the cells are trying to hit me, but they get knocked back by minecart. Also, I built there some weird setup with the torch, that is the bed warp. I will use the bed warp to despawn the enemies, so I can safely kill the pillar. I killed 100 enemies, so I can recall. I switch to ranger and I slowly kill the pillar. Next, I will be switching to Summoner, because I now will have access to to the Stardust Dragon, which is for speedruns the best weapon at this stage, because it requires almost no special gear to make it work, and the DPS is the best you can get. Here I also change the settings, so I immediately drink potions and any buffs, so I don't accidentally forget to drink Featherfall when I will eventually run out of it. You could see that I made also Stardust Monolith. Monoliths from pillars sell for a lot of gold, and I will need a lot of gold to buy steampunk wings and also to heal during nerfs. This Vortex pillar has a funny position, but the cheese is pretty simple. You just block yourself in the box, but you make a hole above it, so the pillars can, how to put it, they can see you, because they will look at you from above, and they will see that there's a clear path on the player, so they won't spawn inside you but above you. So you are safe in this setup. Dragon is making good work, but I'm also using Spore Sec now to deal with enemies that are close to me. The Spore Sec will backfire a bit in a second when I will start killing the pillar, because as I mentioned earlier, Spore Sec has weird iframes. What I mean is that Spore Sec will just take all the iframes for itself, and you can see that dragon almost does no damage, but as I turned it off, dragon can kill the pillar. I have almost all the fragments, I recall. I make Phantasm. I rolled badly, so I rolled again. Next, I'm gonna sell to Steampunker, because I should have enough gold to justify Steampunk wings. Next, I will go for Solar, again, using Chicken Teriyaki. Here I make a mistake, but get it on the next round. For Solar and Nebula, we have very similar cheese, we just use different summons. Here I get a bit unlucky with the worm that almost killed me, but I quickly reacted with Potion of Return to despawn it. I make a small platform on the bottom and then go high enough to start spawn enemies. Then I put myself inside the block so enemies can't see me. This has the effect that enemies don't shoot at me, and the sword guys that spin and deflect arrows don't spin. That's all, they don't spin. So it's really easy to kill them. This I discovered accidentally. I just was playing around with block swap and somehow the enemies started behaving differently. Then what I did is throw dynamite, so I destroyed the platform, and that's to stop spawns and to have a clear path to shoot at the pillar. Then I removed my dragon and summoned 4 cells. The cells are important for Nebula, because for Nebula there are different enemies, especially the Nebula floaters, and they will charge at me, but every time they get hit they have a chance to teleport away. So we have the cells to attack rapidly together with Sporsec, so it's really unlikely that they get ever close enough to hit me. And basically this is the same setup as for Solar. Again, when the pillar is almost dead, I will throw dynamite down to stop spawns. I throw dynamite a bit early, so I didn't unfortunately kill enough enemies. I'm one off, so that's a bit unfortunate. I make a small platform here and try to get only one enemy, but when I need only one, a whole army from Cosmos comes. But then I just kill the pillar and collect the fragments to craft monoliths, and that's to sell them and get money. Also I try to get good daybreak. I got godly, which is I think the best, so that's kinda lucky. It doesn't matter that much. Daybreak has a lot of DPS because of the debuff that it applies. That's also why I'm not gonna make a warrior emblem but summoner emblem, because my summons will get a much bigger bonus from the 15% damage boost than my daybreak would. Making sure all my buffs are set, and I'm waiting for like 34 seconds, and then I chicken teriyaki to get further from the moonlord, but I hit the block and I get hit immediately, but it doesn't matter much. Every time I get low, I just teleport to nurse and heal. This fight is not that difficult thanks to the nurse, but it still takes a lot of practice, because you can die in a few hits, and if you are constantly teleporting to nerves, Moonlord will just eventually kill you, because a lot of stuff will be there, like, I mean, the particles that Moonlord summons, the travel to you. My strategy is to kill the main guy first, because that's the most annoying guy that forces me to circle Moonlord instead of just running away. But when I kill the main eye, I can finally just run. Unfortunately, I don't get a really clean fight, which also not only wastes some time, but I'm not really proud of this fight. I still haven't killed the left hand. Finally I do now, so I can fly really high up to get away from the eyes, because when you are moving horizontally, no, I mean vertically, the eyes cannot catch up. So to get away from the eyes, I fly really high, and then when they are already behind, I can finally start running away horizontally. This running strategy is real powerful, because usually you will be far away from the lasers to hit, and because Moonlord is really far away, you have enough time to dodge the attacks. And even though the fight wasn't clean and kinda close to the end, where I got really low, I still managed to kill Moonlord and finish the run in under 70 minutes, which is also world record, and I'm really proud of this run. Like, I put so much time into it, and I finally got this. You can also see 557 attempts, which is a lot. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this commentary and the video, how I spent 3 days in Terraria. Usually people spend more days in Terraria, but speedrunners I build different. Here I just showcase the seed. If you want to play, you can try. Maybe you can beat me. Thanks for watching.